What's up YouTube? Welcome to the second video of the tutorial series that I am creating for YouTube. I actually started recording like 15 minutes ago, and I actually wrote a second part for the melody because looping this really sounded quite boring. So I changed a little bit up in the next part, but I wasn't really recording, so everything went lost. Which is not a problem, but I'm just gonna let you hear it. So it used to be this. But now I made a second part that sounds like this. So now it is time to actually start creating some lead sounds, which is always a lot of fun, if you ask me. So I'm gonna select the top melody. I'm going to copy this, and we are going to add a serum, because serum is my go-to. And let's start goofing around with this. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is going to be the top lead, and we need to route this to a different channel. So let's pick 20, for example. Press Ctrl L, and then it will automatically color and rename the mixer track. The volume in my channel rack is gonna go to the maximum. I always do this, and I am arranging my volumes in here for the buses. And let's create a lead sound. Now, first off, I'm going to because I always use the chaos button, I'm going to use the chaos button to create like a noise, noise modulation. Yeah, you could call it noise modulation. So we're going to bind the chorus pitch to the chaos button later on. Make sure that first we'll focus on the first part. Okay, we don't need it to be a range oscillator, so we don't need multiple layers of this. I'm just going to set this to 1. And what we also want to do is we want to make sure that mono is on. We want to have legato, and we want it to glide. Not too much, but we're going to have to listen to it and decide how much we want this. It's not really special right now, because right now it just sounds like the basic, the init preset with a small glide in it, but you'll hear what all these settings will do later on. I'm going to turn off the piano, and we're going to play the melody only. It needs to be lower, so I'm going to put it down 1 octave. I'm also going to make a little bit of space at the end of the notes, so it really sounds more defined, right? It gives you a little bit more rhythm. I'm also going to change the the wavetable here. Let's see. I think I'm just going to go for a saw rounded. It was like this one. Remember that I told you that I was, going to use the chaos to make this a bit more interesting. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to set the source to the chaos button, and the thing that we want to modulate is going to be oscillator A. It's going to be the chorus pitch. We're going to make sure that it's in the center, so it pitches both ways instead of only up. And now we're slowly going to mix this in, okay? It's going to sound really distorted and dirty, but that's exactly what we want. Okay, then we'll just change the wavetable position just a little bit. Perfect. Now we're going to use the second oscillator to create the saws that are very white. So this one is really focused in the center, and we're going to use oscillator B to get more whiteness. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that the range is set to 2 here, and we're going to use super saws. So I'm just going to turn on super saw for this guy, then turn the oscillator on, and I think we're just going to go for, you know, more voices. I'm going to use a different wavetable. I don't really like this one, so let's go to basic shapes, for example, and just... As you can hear, there is a tick every time the sound ends, and the transition here gives a plop at every sound. I think that we could actually fix that by giving it a little bit more release. And I think that I also want to have a tick at the beginning, and we can do that easily by using a noise oscillator. We're going to use a noise oscillator to do this. Take down the portamento a little bit. The noise oscillator we're just going to use whenever we're following this thing. So whenever you're touching this, it will be, you know, hear that tick at the beginning. Also, I believe that we need more distortion for this guy, so I'm going to take the, let's take a LFO, for example, LFO 1, and we are going to modulate the entire master tune. It needs to be faster. I don't want it to be synced to the BPM. I'd rather use hertz on this. I'll just blend it in just a little bit so you can hear what it actually does. So this is without. It sounds a bit dirtier, but it also sounds more alive. Now, of course, I'm going to use pitch bends in this melody because it's really asking for pitch bends. It's also asking for a different rhythm in my ears, so I'm going to slightly change it up. And after I've changed the rhythm of the melody, I'll also show you guys how I arrange my reverb. So first, let's just turn on the metronome, and we'll start goofing around with the the rhythm of the melody. Okay. That's exactly what I want, so we're gonna change that. Let's see what we can do here, right? Oh, maybe like this. No. Yeah, So here we go. Now find out what notes I want to change for this. Let's just do this. I think it sounds way better. For now, I'll also add a Pro Q on the lead that we've created, because there's a lot of rumble in the bottom. Right? Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. This one needs the exact same thing. This one as well, right? This one as well. Cool. So now I actually want to use Pitchbends as well, but I thought well, first we'll just do the reverb. Actually, I want to go to, I'm trying to go too fast right now. Not required. So now we're gonna focus on the reverb, right? So I'm gonna make a mixer track. I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna rename this one to a reverb. For my reverbs, I always use Pro R. I love it. It's a very good plugin. Sounds really nice, right? Not robotic. It sounds perfect, actually. And we're gonna crank up this one to get a kind of long reverb, because it's really nice for this one. We're gonna make it clean. We're gonna make it bright because we want it to be really energetic. We want to make it wide. Reverb has to be wide, right? So it's perfect for widening to really give that, air to your sound. After the reverb, we're going to add a limiter to make sure that whenever the lead is playing, the limiter will duck the sound of the reverb, and it will make room for each other, and it will also sound better. So I'm going to send a little bit of the top lead to the reverb, but I'm already kind of thinking ahead. Later on, I'm going to create another layer for the lead. I'm going to create chords and stuff like that. So I actually want to send all of that information to one single bus. So I'm going to not send this to the master directly. I'm going to send this to a collection bus, which I'm going to call lead and chords. And from the lead and chords bus, I will send this information to the reverb bus. Okay? Now let's just check it out, see what it sounds like. We're going to slowly blend this in. Okay, pretty cool. But we definitely need that sidechain. So I'm going to say, okay, you limiter, you should listen to the lead and chords, and whenever they are coming in, you're going to lower your volume, and you're going to release. You're going to have a slight longer release and a small attack. And it's mainly for the parts, because you're probably thinking, well, this melody is constantly playing, so it has no use. It does have use whenever you're ending your melody. See that? It comes back with that volume, right? Okay, cool. So that's that. Also, we need to EQ the reverb a bit. I'm going to cut away from the lows, like anything under 100 hertz. Okay. So this is done. Of course, I'm going to focus now on the pitch bends. So let's just, I'm going to take the lead sound. I'm going to cut it, create a new pattern and say lead. Paste it in and throw the pattern on here. And now we're going to create like pitch bends. But before we can do that, or before we actually need to crank this down, right? And listen if we can go low enough. I want it to go lower. So what do? I'm going to link the pitch bend to the master tune. We're going to go both ways. And I also want to make sure that whenever this this is the correct setting. And we need a EQ as well. Okay. Maybe I'll change the noise later on because I don't really like the level that's okay, now it's okay. So this is our basic lead sound we have here. Of course, this is screaming for a bass right now, right? But first we'll just do the pitch bends. So I'm going to create an automation clip that's going to be all the way over this entire clip. We probably can copy it from here, but we'll just try it this way. We'll move this little wheel around so your computer memorizes the last thing that you have tweaked. Go to last tweaked and say create automation clip. Now we can play around with the lead pitch bend. Let's just try out a little bit of let's play around, right? Also want to make this one a bit smaller, like this, right? What's that? Paste. Make this go down slightly, right? Oh, no, stop. No. Paste. Okay. Take this guy, move it back. It's always, trial and error with this, but eventually you can find some really cool patterns. I'm going to use the same curve for this guy. So it was at the beginning of the note, which is here. Paste. And this one, we're going to copy this. And this is going to be at the end of the note. Okay, paste. And then the same curve, right? Let's see, what do we have here? 100. Let's go for 100 here as well. And then, of course, we need that 50% again. Copy. Paste. Okay. Again, here, same story. Paste. Go down. Up. Same story here, right? Paste. We go down, we go up. Okay, I think I'm just going to use the same thing again for this part, probably. But I want to have it gliding. I want to have some glides up here as well. So we're also going to paste this to be standard. We're going to make sure that we go down here as well. Right, so paste, go down, right, 100%. Okay, make this a bit smaller, 1/3 of a beat or 1/6. So we get this, right? Try this out. Okay, paste, go down, 100%, go up. Okay, we'll do this the same way that we did here. Okay, so paste, about the same. Paste 50, go down. Okay, 100%, back to normal. Paste, bring this down, up. Now, of course, this is screaming for a bass that is in, you know, in time with the lead. So you get an energetic feeling. So I'm going to copy this entire thing here. We're going to create another patch, serum again. And we're going to call this bass. I'm going to throw this into, let's see, where we're going to put this. Let's go to 25. Okay. Control L, put the volume up to the max, and we will, you know, paste in this MIDI information that we have right now. And we're gonna first off, you know, make sure that we are aligning these. Oh, sorry. Like this. I haven't found any other way to do this faster, and I think every FL user is having a hard time doing this. Okay, so this is going to be the bass. Okay, so we're going to move this down. And I think that you understand what we're trying to do here right now. So we're going to create a bass sound, but it has to be in the rhythm of the lead sound. So I'm going to do a little sneak peek over here. And I'm actually going to copy over this because these are the notes that we're going to use. For now, we're going to paste it under the lead, right? But it's okay. So now we have our ghost notes in the background so we can easily align. Okay, so align this stuff, align it. Oh, yeah, okay. We go to the E, sharp, B, back to D sharp. Okay, so now. Okay, so now we're going to create a fat bass sound, because this is of course the init preset and that's not really what we want. So let's go. We're going to turn on the sub oscillator. Don't need this, I guess. Oscillator 2, yeah, oscillator 2, we can do this. That's okay. I'm not going to use a super saw right now. Let me see. Send a little bit to the reverb, right? The reverb is filtered, so only the top, the high end will be noticeable in this reverb bus, so it's okay. We're gonna use a EQ on this thing, you know. Cut it away, create a new pattern called bass. And paste it in there. Throw it underneath this one. Also throw in a little bit of distortion, right? Not too much, but just a little bit, you know. Okay. So now the next patch that we're going to create is for the melodic chords. I'm going to copy the top lead version, or no, let's just start with a new one again. It's not really a big deal, actually. Maybe even better, right? So let's go into the lead pattern and, you know, create a new serum instance. We're going to route this one to 21. And remember that I told you that the leads and chords are all going to go to bus 19 eventually. I'm going to put the volume down, make sure that it's not going to the master, but that it's going to the lead bus. Turn it on. This is going to be chords. Press Ctrl L. Put the volume all the way up, and we're going to copy the lead and paste it into the chord scheme. I'm going to use the sampler as a ghost channel, because I'm going to base these melodic chords on the MIDI that we have created earlier using the piano. So I'm going to take this MIDI, I'm going to take the chords, right? The normal chords. I'm going to copy them over and go back to the lead pattern, paste them into the sampler. Make sure that they are aligned up with the melody, right? Kinda. Like this. And this way we can hopefully create some cool melodic chords. Okay, so I'm going to go here. First, of course, we need to create the chords patch. Okay. It needs to be supersaw, of course. So supersaws. We are gonna go for 13 voices or so. Detune it. Take the blend down, because the thing that we have playing in the center is, of course, our main lead. Okay. We'll put the volume down, and now we're just really going to draw everything out. Okay, so. Okay. So let's draw some melodic chords. Okay. These, what you hear here, those are melodic chords, and that's exactly what we want. I also make sure that the top stays the same, so you're gonna draw your chords underneath it, okay? Okay, what do we have here? Okay, that's... So I'm just peeking at the background, right? And doing it that way. So let's just continue from here, like this. Right. First I'm just going to draw the simple ones, and later on continue with the new ones. This sounds kind of stale, right? So I'm just going to change this. These are really boring chords. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use the LFO 1 or 2, I think. Yeah, let's just do LFO 1. And we are actually going to do the master tune trick again. Okay. Let's do a little bit of EQing. Cut away the lows. Push down the mids a bit. Okay, there we go. A little bit less of the detuning right there. Okay. See where we get. Picking all the simple notes again because it's easier. Right? Do not alter the top. Simply cherry picking out of the existing chords. Okay. Okay, test this, right? Still missing a lot, right? So we're gonna fill those gaps up. I'm gonna turn off the top lead and just listen to this. There is a little bit too much of that detuning going on. Maybe turn this down, right? Sounds a bit cleaner as well. So. Right. Yeah. Okay. This one is, you know, it's gliding into the next chord. See that this matches with this one completely, and here we have a match with our following chord, you know. And that way you'll get a little bit more of a dynamic feeling to your sound. Okay, let's see. For this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glide into that next chord. Put this one down. Okay. We're going to turn the lead on again. Of course, this one also needs the pitch bend action that the main lead layer has. So what we do, we're going to use the pitch wheel again, the pitch bend, right? Link it to our master tune because we're gonna make sure that the entire thing goes down. Throw this down to -24. 2 ways. Crank it up like that. And of course, we're gonna link this one. Last tweaked. Link to controller because we're gonna pick the existing one, this one. Now this should work, right? Let's make these a bit higher because it almost sounds like a tape stop, and that's definitely not what we want. Gonna create, or we're gonna cut out the chords. We're gonna place them in its own thing, like this, right? The bass is already out of that thing. What do we have here? What's in this thing? Top lead, the sampler can be empty as well. The true pianos is also finished. We have already created everything that we wanted, so I'm gonna remove this one too. And here we have our basic lead stack, actually. I think I'm gonna make this one. This one can go up fast, right? Now the only thing that's missing is some kind of a pad or something like that. I always like to use choirs for this. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna throw in a contact. We're gonna load in the ensemble patch, you know, from Olympus. I love this one. It's perfect to do what we want. Let's try this, right? Okay, we'll save this. Okay, so let's go here and create our choir. Okay, rename this, say choir. I deleted all other stuff, of course, which is kind of dumb because now I have to redraw the chords again. So first up, we're just going to copy paste all this stuff, right? Like this. Okay. Paste it. Move it to the right. So, go up, up, up. You go up as well. Okay. Move this up. Turn the leads off. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay. Up again. Up again. Okay. And we need the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seventh, I meant, of course. Okay. Then we're going to send it to its own corresponding channel. Let's pick 15 for this. Put the volume up. Press Ctrl L. There we go. Fire on. Send a little bit to the reverb bus, not too much. Okay. A little bit of EQing. And that's for now the lead stack, I guess.